Alright, so I'm gonna freeball some idea that I had when I was trying to go to sleep. It's basically a sort of life rule, but not really a rule, but more like a idea, a concept. It's just something that I thought of that I thought made sense, so I might as well try to explain it, because that's more or less what I'm about at this point. Um, yeah. So you start out with life, and then there's death, and then there's all this time in between those two things. During that time, you have all these thoughts and experiences, but it really only starts after about 5-6 years. You know, 5-6 years old, you start thinking about things that you can't directly influence, like, is your best friend gonna come to kindergarten class today? Will he share his Power Ranger toys? Maybe. You know, stuff like that, where you don't really know what's gonna happen, so you just make predictions, and then you sort of develop your own way of thinking about the world, like a personality. Those personalities have ups and downs throughout your entire life. You start thinking in ways that are different. Your worldview changes, as time goes on. But there's only so many things you could change about your life before you die. And I feel in that very limited, static sort of, it's a very long time, but it's a finite amount of time. And if we could analyze the events that happened during that time, we could figure out what it really means to be alive. I think you could judge those ups and downs throughout your life, in two ways. Usually opposites. You could assign whatever attributes you want to them, but positive, negative. I like to call them push and pull, because when you push towards something, it's sort of like you're going forward into the world. You want to experience new ideas, new things. When you pull, you want to slow down and just think about the things you already have. You don't try to reach out, or you prefer to be comfortable when you pull, or when you push, you prefer to actually do something, whether that be good, bad, comfortable, or uncomfortable. I believe that once we go to one of these peaks of push or pull, that there is some sort of life event, some sort of, you did something that, or something happened to you that your worldview changes. Not because it was important, but it pushed you to a point where you said, I can't handle this, and then your mind sort of curves into the opposite direction, and then it keeps going in that direction until it curves back, where again it's scared, it's limited by the other extreme, where you can't really be comfortable doing different things. Sounds weird when I say it out, but what else? I think these curves last around 4 to 7, 10 years, something like that. Where, okay, think of it this way. You're 10, you're leaving elementary school, you're going to middle school, you don't know what to think of yourself, and you feel like you're always getting judged by people, so you kind of pull back, right? But then, I don't know, a few years down the line, you go to high school, you feel all motivated to talk to people and shit, and then that's sort of, you're pushing forward. But once you graduate high school, all the pressures of the world kind of crumble onto you, and then you pull back again, trying to figure out what exactly you should do. Once you figure out what to do, you kind of push forward again, trying to get all the info you can in order to make your dreams come true, right? Fuck. So I just realized this whole time it's just me being very uncomfortable in front of well, not a camera, but like recording. And I kind of just spilled the beans on, you know, how I feel about school and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of awkward. But push and pull. How does that relate? How can I actually save this and, you know, let you walk away with an idea that you could add on to? Well, more or less what I was originally trying to say is that there's two types of people, and you could be either one at any given time. There's pushers who explore new ideas, and pullers who contemplate on old ideas. They both need each other because, you know, pusher discovers ideas that puller can analyze, and a puller sort of creates, not creates new ideas, but creates a new angle on existing ideas. And then from there, the pushers can go back and then look for something new. I kind of want to say just doers and thinkers, but that kind of feels not what I'm trying to say. Well, pushers push humanity to the sort of inevitable conclusion, which is just you can experience everything and anything all in one lifetime. Pullers are trying to be comfortable with what they have now, so that when they actually do all that stuff, it actually carries some weight and some value. Because, you know, like an insane person will just ramble on. Oh shit. Fuck. No, not like me, alright. Insane person will perceive anything and everything, but because nothing they say has any weight, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to anybody. That's why, you know, you have to study them and lock them up to see where all of this is coming from. A puller sort of would be like the therapist to the insane person, where you're looking for a new angle to look at whatever is going on. God. Well, are pushes insane? I don't know, I feel a little crazy from time to time. But not crazy, just a little different. They don't really like the concept of normal, so they try to divert from that. And by doing so, they create new and interesting ideas and new ways to interact with those ideas. Well, give pullers the opportunity to discover. Basically, a pusher thinks once, a puller thinks twice, 3 times even. Yeah, I'm just gonna shut this off before yeah, bye.